What if NHL legends played in the modern NHL? In this what if scenario, I'll be drafting NHL legends to play in the current NHL. Rules for the historic draft. Any legend who is in the Hall of Fame is eligible for this draft. Any player who is drafted in the historic legend draft will have a cap hit of $6.6 million per season. No player who is drafted in the historic draft can be traded. All legends are assumed to be in their primes. Because of the legends coming into the NHL, the cap will be raised to $90 million. The cap will be raised 5% every year, and retired players don't count towards the cap. Historic Legends Draft. Anaheim Ducks select Steve Yzerman and Borje Salming. Arizona Coyotes select Mike Bossy and Jacques Plante. Boston Bruins select Bobby Hull and Adam Oates. Buffalo Sabres draft Ron Francis and Terry Sawchuck. Calgary Flames select Gilbert Perreault and Dominik Hasek. Carolina Hurricanes select Bobby Clarke and Luc Robitaille. Chicago Blackhawks select Stan Mikita and Tony Esposito. Colorado Avalanche select Patrick Roy and Peter Forsberg. Columbus Blue Jackets select Martin Brodeur and Scott Niedermayer. Dallas Stars select DAL-Jarri Kurri and AL MacInnis. Detroit Red Wings select Gordie Howe and Chris Chelios. Edmonton Oilers select Ray Bourque and Sergei Fedorov. Florida Panthers select Pavel Bure and Paul Coffey. LA Kings select Mario Lemieux and Red Kelly. Minnesota Wild select Joe Nieuwendyk and Phil Esposito. Montreal Canadiens select John Belleville and Doug Carby. Nashville Predators select Peter Stastny and Mike Modano. New Jersey Devils select Bobby Orr and Jacques Lemaire. New York Islanders select Brian Trottier and Frank Mahovlich. New York Rangers select Mark Messier and Brad Park. Ottawa Senators select Wayne Gretzky and Eric Lindros. Philadelphia Flyers select Marcel Dion and Ken Dryden. Pittsburgh Penguins select Nick Lidstrom and Brendan Shanahan. San Jose Sharks select Matt Sundin and Ted Lindsay. St. Louis Blues select Brett Hull and Dennis Savard. Tampa Bay Lightning select Maurice Richard and Dennis Potvin. Toronto Maple Leafs select Larry Robinson and Darryl Sittler. Vancouver Canucks select Joe Sakic and Scott Stevens. Vegas Golden Knights select Guy Lafleur and Alex Delvecchio. Washington Capitals select Brian Leetch and Mike Gartner. Winnipeg Jets select Gene Rattel and Dale Hawerchuk. Notable 2019 draft picks. New Jersey Devils select Jack Hughes. Chicago Blackhawks select Vasily Podkolzin. Colorado Avalanche select Dylan Kozin. LA Kings select Kirby Dack. Detroit Red Wings select Bowen Byram. Buffalo Sabres select Trevor Zegras. Edmonton Oilers select Matthew Boldy. Anaheim Ducks select Alex Turcotte. Vancouver Canucks select Peyton Krebs. Minnesota Wild select Victor Soderstrom. And Florida Panthers select Philip Broberg. New York Rangers select Capo Caco and Ray Seider in the 2019 draft. Philadelphia Flyers select Cole Caulfield and Arthur Kaliev in the 2019 draft. A three-team trade is made between the Ottawa Senators, Winnipeg Jets, and Carolina Hurricanes. Ottawa Senators get Kyle Connor and Dougie Hamilton. Carolina Hurricanes get Jacob Trouba, Colin White, and Zach Smith. Winnipeg Jets get Cody Ceci, Nino Niederreiter, and a first-round pick in 2021. Another three-team trade is made between the Edmonton Oilers, Montreal Canadiens, and Columbus Blue Jackets. Edmonton Oilers get Jonathan Drouin and Ryan Murray. Montreal Canadiens get Nick Foligno and Oscar Klefbom. Columbus Blue Jackets get Kyle Yamamoto, Michael McCarron, and a first-round pick in 2020. Because of the historic legends entering the league, many trades are made. Boston Bruins trade David Krejci to the Arizona Coyotes for Alex Galchenyuk and a second-round pick in 2021. The Boston Bruins also trade David Backes and John Moore to the LA Kings for Dion Phaneuf and Trevor Lewis. Carolina Hurricanes trade Trevor Van Riemsdyk to the Washington Capitals for a third-round pick in 2020. Carolina Hurricanes also acquired James Neal from the Calgary Flames for Brock McGinn, Michael Furlan, and a second-round pick in 2022. Colorado Avalanche acquired PK Subban and Mikael Granlund to the Nashville Predators for Cale Makar, JT Comfort, a first-round pick in 2020, and a second-round pick in 2023. If the Avalanche win the Stanley Cup, the second-round pick becomes his first-round pick. The Avalanche also trade Carl Soderberg and Matt Calvert to the Montreal Canadiens for a second-round pick in 2020 and a fourth-round pick in 2021. Columbus Blue Jackets trade Artemi Panarin to the LA Kings for Alex Iafallo, Jarrett Anderson-Dolan, and a first-round pick in 2020. Columbus Blue Jackets acquire Kyle Turris and Rocco Grimaldi from the Nashville Predators for Brandon Dubinsky and Alexander Wenberg. The Blue Jackets also acquire Nikolai Ehlers and Tyler Myers from the Winnipeg Jets for Alexander Texier, Marcus Nudavara, Sonny Milano, and a first-round pick in 2020. The Dallas Stars acquire Ryan Johansson from the Nashville Predators for Jason Dickinson, Riley Tuft, and a first-round pick in 2022. The Dallas Stars also acquired Dmitry Orlov from the Washington Capitals for Julius Honka, a second-round pick in 2020, and a second-round pick in 2023. Detroit Red Wings acquired JT Miller and Tyler Johnson from the Tampa Bay Lightning for Ryan Kuffner, Trevor Daley, and a second-round pick in 2021. The Red Wings also trade Franz Nielsen and Tim Hross to the Minnesota Wild for Victor Rask, Ryan Donato, and a second-round pick in 2020. Edmonton Oilers trade Milan Lucic and Jesse Puljujarvi to the Arizona Coyotes for Lawson Krause and a second-round pick in 2020. The Oilers also trade Andre Sekera to the Buffalo Sabres for a third-round pick in 2020. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is traded to the Florida Panthers for Philip Broberg and a first-round pick in 2021. The Edmonton Oilers also acquired Dylan Strome from the Chicago Blackhawks for Ethan Bear, Alex Chiasson, and a second-round pick in 2022. If Dylan Strome gets more than 30 goals, the second-round pick becomes a first-round pick. Florida Panthers trade James Reimer to the Ottawa Senators for a 3rd-round pick in 2021. Then the Florida Panthers acquire Louis Eriksson from the Vancouver Canucks for a 3rd-round pick in 2020. The Panthers also acquire Labor Hayek from the New York Rangers for a 2nd-round pick in 2022. LA Kings trade Jeff Carter and Dustin Brown to the Detroit Red Wings for Tyler Bertuzzi, Jared McIsaac, and a 1st-round pick in 2022. The Kings also acquire Arturi Lehkonen and Paul Byron from the Montreal Canadiens for Carl Brunstrom and a 2nd-round pick in 2021. New Jersey Devils trade Damon Severson to the Vancouver Canucks for a 1st-round pick in 2021. The New Jersey Devils also trade Travis Zajac to the Boston Bruins for Charlie Coyle. The New York Rangers acquire Tanner Pearson from the Vancouver Canucks for a 2nd-round pick in 2021. The Rangers also acquire Ryan Callahan and a 1st-round pick in 2023 from the Tampa Bay Lightning for Brandon Lemieux. The Philadelphia Flyers trade Jacob Voracek and Samuel Morin to the Ottawa Senators for Mikhail Butker, Cole Caulfield, Chris Tierney, and a 1st-round pick in 2019. The Flyers also acquire Andreas Janssen from the Toronto Maple Leafs for Oscar Lindblom and a 2nd-round pick in 2021. The Pittsburgh Penguins acquire Eric Johnson and Alex Kerfoot from the Colorado Avalanche for Patrick Hornquist, Justin Schultz, and a 1st-round pick in 2021. The Pittsburgh Penguins trade Phil Kessel to the Detroit Red Wings for Anthony Mantha and a 1st-round pick in 2020. The Penguins also trade Jack Johnson to the Minnesota Wild for a 2nd-round pick in 2020. The San Jose Sharks trade Eric Carlson to the New York Rangers for Kevin Shattenkirk and a 1st-round pick in 2020. If Carlson re-signs with the Rangers, the Sharks get an additional 1st-round pick in 2023. The Sharks also trade Evander Kane to the New Jersey Devils for Michael McLeod, Brett Seney, and a 1st-round pick in 2022. Vancouver Canucks acquire Max Pacioretty and Paul Stastny from the Vegas Golden Knights for Peyton Krebs, Adam Gaudette, Jake Virtanen, and a 1st-round pick in 2020. The Canucks also trade Chris Tanev and Nikolai Goudobin, as well as a 2nd-round pick in 2020, to the Minnesota Wild for Jason Zucker and Greg Pateryn. Washington Capitals acquire Thomas Hickey from the New York Islanders for a 3rd-round pick in 2021. The Capitals also trade Andrei Burakovsky to the Vancouver Canucks for a 3rd-round pick in 2022. Calgary Flames trade Michael Froehlich to the Columbus Blue Jackets for Ryan Dzingel. Nashville Predators trade Calle Yarncroc, Craig Smith, and Colton Sissons to the Buffalo Sabres for Connor Sheary, Evan Rodriguez, and a 2nd-round pick in 2020. Ottawa Senators acquired Jacob Silfverberg from the Anaheim Ducks for Max Verano, Christian Jaros, and a 2nd-round pick in 2020. Toronto Maple Leafs trade Patrick Marleau, Kasperi Kapanen, and a 1st-round pick in 2025 to the San Jose Sharks for Gustav Nyquist. Vegas Golden Knights acquired Jay Beagle from the Vancouver Canucks for a 4th-round pick in 2022. Winnipeg Jets trade Adam Lowry to the Edmonton Oilers for a 3rd-round pick in 2020. A 3-team trade is made between the Chicago Blackhawks, Buffalo Sabres, and New York Islanders. Buffalo Sabres get Andrew Ladd and Marcus Kruger. Chicago Blackhawks get Linus Ullmark, Johan Larsson, and a 1st-round pick in 2022. New York Islanders get Corey Crawford and Brandon Perlini. Another 3-team trade is made between the Vancouver Canucks, Arizona Coyotes, and New Jersey Devils. Vancouver Canucks get Jason DeVers, John Quinville, Nick Cousins, and a 2nd-round pick in 2020. Arizona Coyotes get Pavel Zacha and Brandon Sutter. New Jersey Devils get Nick Schmaltz and Troy Stetcher. All RFAs are re-signed by their current teams. Calgary Flames re-sign Ryan Dzingel and Michael Furland. Columbus Blue Jackets re-sign Matt Duchene and Tyler Myers. New York Islanders re-sign Jordan Eberle and Robin Lehner. Colorado Avalanche re-sign Colin Wilson. Dallas Stars re-sign Jason Spezza. LA Kings re-sign Artemi Panarin. New York Rangers re-sign Eric Carlson. San Jose Sharks re-sign Joe Pavelski. And Gustav Nyquist re-signs with the Toronto Maple Leafs. 2019 free agent signings. Anaheim Ducks sign Mike Green and Brian Elliott. Colorado Avalanche sign Carl Hagelin and Sam Gagner. Edmonton Oilers sign Sergei Bobrovsky and Wayne Simmons. LA Kings sign Valtteri Filppula and Ben Lovejoy. New Jersey Devils sign Cody Eakin and Colton Seaver. Ottawa Senators sign Alex Edler, Kevin Hayes, Ryan Boyle, and Darcy Kemper. Vancouver Canucks sign Cam Talbot and Eric Holla. Arizona Coyotes sign Marcus Johansson. Simon Varlamov signs with the Carolina Hurricanes. Chicago Blackhawks sign Richard Panik. Dallas Stars sign Derek Brassard. Mike Smith signs with the Florida Panthers. Minnesota Wild sign Thomas Vanek. Montreal Canadiens sign Ryan Miller. Jake Gardner signs with the New York Islanders. Matt Zuccarello signs with the New York Rangers. And the St. Louis Blues sign Anton Strawman. In first place in the Atlantic Division are the Tampa Bay Lightning, followed by the Boston Bruins and Ottawa Senators. In first place in the Metropolitan Division are the Columbus Blue Jackets, followed by the Washington Capitals and Pittsburgh Penguins. The Toronto Maple Leafs hold the first wildcard spot in the Eastern Conference, and the New Jersey Devils hold the second wildcard spot in the Eastern Conference. Missing out on the playoffs in the Eastern Conference are the Florida Panthers, New York Islanders, Detroit Red Wings, Carolina Hurricanes, Philadelphia Flyers, Buffalo Sabres, Montreal Canadiens, and New York Rangers. In first place in the Central Division are the St. Louis Blues, followed by the Colorado Avalanche and Winnipeg Jets. In first place in the Pacific Division are the Calgary Flames, followed by the Edmonton Oilers and Vegas Golden Knights. The Dallas Stars hold the first wildcard spot in the Western Conference, and the LA Kings have the second wildcard spot in the Western Conference. Missing out on the playoffs in the Western Conference are the Chicago Blackhawks, San Jose Sharks, Ducks, Vancouver Canucks, Nashville Predators, Anaheim Ducks, Minnesota Wild, and Arizona Coyotes. The Pittsburgh Penguins and Colorado Avalanche meet in the Stanley Cup Finals, and the Colorado Avalanche win the Stanley Cup in 6 games. Joe Thornton, Zdeno Chara, Patrick Marleau, Ilya Kovalchuk, Roberto Luongo, Craig Anderson, Mike Smith, Justin Williams, Nicholas Cronwell, Thomas Vanek, Ryan Miller, Trevor Daley, Ryan Callahan, Jason Pominville, Ron Hainsey, Dan Girardi, Braden Coburn, Antti Niemi, Cam Ward, Dan Hamhuis, and Derek Englund all retire from the NHL. Notable 2020 draft picks: Arizona Coyotes select Alexis Lafreniere, Montreal Canadiens select Quinton Byfield, New York Rangers select Alexander Holtz, Minnesota Wild select Lucas Raymond, Buffalo Sabres select Anton Lundell, Anaheim Ducks select Jamie Drysdale, Philadelphia Flyers select Casper Sementival, Nashville Predators select Caden Gould, Carolina Hurricanes select Noel Gumler, Detroit Red Wings select Jeremy Poirier, Vancouver Canucks select Marco Rossi. A 3-team trade is made between the LA Kings, Montreal Canadiens, and Calgary Flames. LA Kings get Max Domi and Sam Bennett. Montreal Canadiens get Adrian Kempe, Ryan Dzingel, and a first-round pick in 2021. Calgary Flames get Thomas Tatar and Arturi Lehkonen. Another 3-team trade is made between the New York Islanders, Nashville Predators, and New Jersey Devils. New York Islanders get Dominic Cahoon and a first-round pick in 2023. Nashville Predators get Josh Bailey and Troy Stetcher. New Jersey Devils get Dante Fabro and JT Comfort. Chicago Blackhawks trade Connor Murphy, Dominic Cahoon, and a second-round pick in 2024 to the New Jersey Devils for Charlie Coyle. The Blackhawks also acquire Robert Bortuzzo from the St. Louis Blues for a 5th-round pick in 2021. New Jersey Devils trade Jesper Bratt and Sammy Vatanen to the Florida Panthers for Evgeny Dadonov and Brady Keeper. Devils also trade Corey Schneider, Joey Anderson, and a second-round pick in 2023 to the Carolina Hurricanes for Simeon Varlamov and Julian Gauthier. Pittsburgh Penguins acquire Eric Cernak from the Tampa Bay Lightning for a second-round pick in 2022 and a third-round pick in 2024. The Penguins also trade Dominic Simone and Eric Gudbranson to the Montreal Canadiens for Joel Armia and a third-round pick in 2022. The Tampa Bay Lightning trade Andre Palat and Mikhail Sergachev to the Detroit Red Wings for Philip Zadina, Dennis Cholowski, and a first-round pick in 2025. The Lightning also acquired Chris Russell from the Edmonton Oilers for a second-round pick in 2022. Toronto Maple Leafs trade Mitch Marner and Nikita Zaitsev to the Columbus Blue Jackets for Cam Atkinson, David Savard, Oliver Borkstrand, and a first-round pick in 2022. The Leafs also trade Jake Muzzin and Oliver Borkstrand to the Edmonton Oilers for Darnell Nurse, Cooper Marody, and a first-round pick in 2023. Vancouver Canucks acquired Kevin Shattenkirk from the San Jose Sharks for Jason Demers and a first-round pick in 2023. The Canucks also trade Andrei Burakovsky to the Nashville Predators for Evan Rodriguez. Washington Capitals trade Matt Niskanen to the Vegas Golden Knights for a second-round pick in 2021. Washington Capitals also acquire Adam Fox from the New York Rangers for a second-round pick in 2021 and a third-round pick in 2024. Anaheim Ducks trade Adam Henrique and Devin Shore to the Nashville Predators for Alexander Wenberg and a first-round pick in 2022. Arizona Coyotes trade Derek Stepan and Vinny Hinastraza to the New York Rangers for Pavel Buchnevich, Elias Anderson, and a second-round pick in 2023. Boston Bruins trade Danton Heinen to the Vegas Golden Knights for a second-round pick in 2021. Columbus Blue Jackets trade Nikita Zaitsev to the Ottawa Senators for Dylan DeMello and a second-round pick in 2022. Colorado Avalanche acquire Matt Benning from the Edmonton Oilers for a 4th-round pick in 2022. Detroit Red Wings acquire Carter Hart and the rights to Mikhail Bodker from the Philadelphia Flyers for Tyler Johnson, Michael Rasmussen, and a first-round pick in 2023. Minnesota Wild acquire JT Miller from the Columbus Blue Jackets for a second-round pick in 2021 and a third-round pick in 2022. New York Islanders trade Leo Komarov to the Montreal Canadiens for Jordan Wheel and a third-round pick in 2024. Ottawa Senators acquire Jake Allen from the St. Louis Blues for James Reimer and a second-round pick in 2023. Philadelphia Flyers trade Chris Tierney and a second-round pick in 2023 to the Columbus Blue Jackets for Kyle Turris. Calgary Flames re-signed TJ Brody, Travis Hamonic, and Austin Jarnick. New Jersey Devils re-signed Taylor Hall and Evgeny Dadonov. Washington Capitals re-signed Braden Holtby, Nicholas Backstrom, and TVR. Boston Bruins re-signed Torrey Krug. Buffalo Sabres re-signed Zach Bogosian. Detroit Red Wings re-signed Mikhail Bodker. And the New York Rangers re-signed Vladislav Nemesnikov. Anaheim Ducks signed Marcus Johansson and Marcus Kruger. Edmonton Oilers re-signed Jake Muzzin and Sammy. Philadelphia Flyers signed Jimmy Howard and Dmitry Kulikov. Pittsburgh Penguins signed Joakim Nordstrom and Brad Richardson. Boston Bruins signed Charlie Coyle. Colorado Avalanche signed Brendan Dillon. Florida Panthers signed Jacob Markstrom. Eric Gustafson signs with the Nashville Predators. Ottawa Senators signed Thomas Greiss. Vancouver Canucks signed Michael Frolik, Washington Capitals signed Justin Braun, and the Winnipeg Jets signed Justin Schultz. In first place in the Atlantic Division are the Tampa Bay Lightning, followed by the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Ottawa Senators. In first place in the Metro Division are the Columbus Blue Jackets, followed by the New Jersey Devils and the Philadelphia Flyers. The first wildcard spot in the Eastern Conference is held by the Pittsburgh Penguins, and the Boston Bruins hold the second wildcard spot in the Eastern Conference. Missing out on the playoffs in the Eastern Conference are the Buffalo Sabres, Carolina Hurricanes, Washington Capitals, Florida Panthers, Detroit Red Wings, New York Islanders, Montreal Canadiens, and New York Rangers. In first place in the Western Conference are the Colorado Avalanche, followed by the St. Louis Blues and Dallas Stars. In first place in the Pacific Division are the LA Kings, followed by the Calgary Flames and Edmonton Oilers. Hold the first wildcard spot in the Western Conference, and the Vegas Golden Knights hold the second wildcard spot in the Western Conference. Missing the playoffs in the Western Conference are the Nashville Predators, Vancouver Canucks, Arizona Coyotes, Chicago Blackhawks, Anaheim Ducks, San Jose Sharks, and Minnesota Wild. The Ottawa Senators and LA Kings meet in the Stanley Cup Finals, and the LA Kings win the Stanley Cup in 7 games. Next, I will be simulating another 3 seasons using these rosters.